Yeah.
Fellas,
What up, what up, what up?
gotta get in the camera there.
Are you recording?
Yeah, we're on.
We are live.
Let's make sure it's all good. What's up, guys? How's the mic? Good? Quiet? Loud? Sam, appreciate that, Sam. Welcome. Margin, as always. How we doing? Everyone to press the like button, that's right. Emmy, here, great. There you go. All right, so we got Carmine today.
What up, what up?
We're gonna do our normal thing, do our levels. We'll start with the NASDAQ Qs, then we'll jump into the ES. Then Carmine's actually gonna pull in his own charts, go over his levels, so you guys are gonna get both of them today. And then we'll get into some charts.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about today because yesterday's price action was pretty sideways.
Terrible.
So there's a lot of like psychological things to talk about, a lot of levels to go over, and just a lot of prep for today's session at least.
Yeah, yesterday was a shit show, for a lack of a better word. Before we do that, do I want to really pull up the economic calendar?
We got nothing today, no?
No, yeah, we don't got anything. Let me just check. Economic calendar. Hold on.
Trump speaks.
Let's go. We got to filter the U.S. Today, nothing. Building permits, housing starts. Not
8:30.
Don't think we're
Nothing. No.
nothing. So really nothing today, guys. FOMC minutes tomorrow. hopefully that moves us. Maybe that. I mean, Carmine, would you say that's probably why we're not really doing anything?
This is, I believe, just a meeting minute. This is just like a replay of the minutes. Right. So I think the biggest thing is Thursday we got PMI data. That's going to be the biggest.
And then Jackson
effect.
Hole.
And then Powell speaking on Friday, 10 a.m.
Yeah, Jackson Hole.
Yeah, so.
Jackson Hole, what a name. Nika, thank you. Didn't trade much. All right, let's get started. A little muffled. It's probably the lack of. We're in the kitchen today, so we have a lack of sound deadening in the kitchen here.
So last night, me and Vince was making a joke that we were gonna trade the overnight session because it seems like a lot of the moves have been happening overnight. But we woke up this morning and literally nothing has happened. We're trading at the same prices right now. So
yeah. So another. I mean, it's so tempting to like. I think that really is actually a really good point about like it's so tempting to like think that something's going to happen and just like try to envision something going on before it actually does, and it just never happens, right? It happens all the time. All right, so let's make sure we got everything set up here correctly. Yeah, I think so. Let me move this down a little bit. We got Nico in the background doing some camera work. All right, so let's jump into the NQ today. Let's talk about the levels I have. So yesterday we came into the day talking about that Friday low a day, which is 23,730, and we just basically sat above that the entire day. So 23,730, these lows from Friday, basically sat above it all yesterday, did absolutely nothing. Stayed below the previous all-time highs, and that to me is that's the channel I have right now. I have Friday low a day to previous all-time highs, which is 23,845, and we just been sitting in between it. I, didn't do a great job of staying away from that action yesterday. There were some individual equity setups that interest me, like Palantir was a nice fade. Hood got me a little bit yesterday, so small red day yesterday, messing around a little bit too much in the chop. And today, just a really important day to stay disciplined inside of it. Yesterday definitely sort of a reminder to just understand that if the market's not showing anything, we got to stay away from it.
Right. I think the biggest thing is like when in doubt, zoom out. Sometimes we get so fixated on like what's happening right now, right in front of our faces on a smaller time frame. And if it doesn't make sense or it's not like very clear to you guys, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. Look at where's the market trading. What levels are we below? What levels are we above? And when you zoom out, you can really see the bigger picture and understand, are we in the range? Are we testing new prices? Just where is the market trading? And that'll affect the smaller time frames, and that'll affect the trades that you're looking to take on like an intraday basis.
Yeah. I mean, I've been staring at this CPI move like all week.
Yeah, so that looks very nice.
That looks like a nice. I'm looking to try to fade under this Friday low into this 617 and just target this low here.
Yeah.
But it's just not doing it.
That looks really good because under that there's minimal support, minimal demand.
Yeah.
The problem is that I would say like a lot of people are watching that move.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's going to be very crowded, and a lot of people are looking at just a short under the low.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, those could be recipes for a quick little fake out.
I think that's why you sort of took out those lows. You swept those lows yesterday. So we go to the 5 minute.
Even on the S&P overnight.
There we go. So like yesterday, we just swept these lows multiple times, and it was just a fake out every time. So, I mean, that just sort of shows you, like, we can't just take a breakdown under these lows. We got to see, like, a structured fail below it. Obviously, for me, the break and retest is what I'd want to see under that Friday low a day. And if we don't get that, it's just another day of not touching this, in my opinion. I mean, you're right inside of yesterday's range. You got previous all-time highs up here at 845, which clearly failed in the after hours. You got that Friday low a day. And, I mean, to me, this is our NTZ. I mean, this is our no trade zone. For Carmine, maybe, he finds something that he wants to long this low. He sees something, but for the option side, a little bit more difficult to be that precise. For me, I just want to sort of stay away from this. But hopefully we can get something outside of it.
Yeah. And I think also a big thing is that, like, there's a quote that I say is like spotting non-obvious things before they become obvious, and like that support level is so obvious.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching a breakdown of that level.
Right.
And I feel like when it's so crowded like that, I'm not saying it can't happen. I hope it does happen. I hope this thing sells off significantly and provides nice volatility. But when everybody's watching the same thing, for me, the reliability of it becomes significantly lower,
Right.
because it's kind of like an easy trade that when everybody sees it, it's very obvious, and the market doesn't like doing a lot of obvious things.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's so many landmines too. Like these areas here, sort of concerning. Is it really going to give you this full move?
Yeah, but under that, they're really, from that CPI little jump up, there's nothing there. So, I mean, it does have free reign to go down if it sells off.
It looks like a great target in these previous highs, lows here.
Yeah.
617. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And then also what the other thing I'd be looking for as well, guys, and just be cautious of is, like, if we get a pop off these lows, don't, make sure you're not chasing into these, these rejection highs, because basically for the last week, we've just been fading every pop. So if we get a pop into that last Wednesday low, if we get a pop into Thursday's lows, into these Friday rejections, anywhere in between this 845, 885 is what I have up into these highs. I'd be careful of, potential fades again in that area.
All right.
Darren, appreciate that, Darren. Oh, Darren, what's up, man? I met Darren at a car show.
That's cool.
Yeah, he came up to me. What's up, brother?
Another thing too is that when the market's this flat, don't get caught up in trading in the middle. Like Vince calls it his NTZs, the no trade zones. Like trading in the middle of the range is just not a high probability setup, and the odds are not in our favor in the middle of the range.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty good for NQ. I mean, there's not that much to go over. I think we have our levels, we have our thesis. We just, at this point, it's just a matter of staying disciplined. I mean, that's really it. Like, the bell rings, sometimes you lose discipline and you start seeing opportunities that make you interested, but try to stay disciplined within this range today, because you don't want to experience another day like yesterday, that's for sure. All right, so Q's, where are my levels at? Is it loading?
Probably.
Yeah. There we go. All right, so Alt Z. Control Z. There we go. On Mac, it's a little different. All right, so Qs, same thing. I mean, on the Qs, I have PDL, right? PDL, 575.25. That's previous day lows. I got this 576 zone. That's our demand. We can see that Friday low held. We can see yesterday we basically just chopped in that demand all day. And under that, you can see we pretty much just held those lows. So, again, same thing as NQ, previous all-time high 577 to 578, and it's pretty much just a channel here, guys. Really nothing new, unfortunately. Wish I had new information for you, but unfortunately just a channel. We gotta wait for it to break. If we go out to the hourly chart, you guys can see here, sort of targeting that same CPI move here, right, on this left side. So if we can break under this PDL, I would be interested to see if we can fade that CPI upside move right here down into that 572, 571. But like Carmine said, obvious trade, maybe might be a tough one to execute.
I hope it happens. But that's why I think where your break and retest comes in very significant is that you're not getting in just because the level is broken. You know, you're getting in when it retests it and those sellers prove that they're rejecting the market on every pop or every rally. Yeah,
we need to see heavy rejections under yesterday's lows is really what you'd want to see, in my opinion. Like a nice clean failure below yesterday's lows, price action showing continuation, and then we can look for that fade.
Right.
Press that like button before we continue. What do we got? 20. It keeps fluctuating. It was right at 3,000. Now it's at 22. So I don't know what it actually is. I don't
Everybody
know.
hit that like button for us, please.
Yeah, that's right. Come on. We got Carmine today. Press it. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. That's right, golf.
Interesting. 6 Ps.
The 6 Ps. All right. I mean, that's really all I got for Qs. There's really not much else to go over.
Let's go to the S&P.
Yeah, let's go to the S&P, and then we'll get Carmine with his charts. I know you guys are. Let's see how it differs. So on the S&P, I have this. So the thing that I'm a little concerned about on the S&P for that fade, Carmine, is this CPI high, which is right in the center.
42s.
Yeah. So I've been hard pressed to know if we fail that low, are we going to get into the 30s, or are we going to find some trappy action here at the 40s?
Yeah.
That's sort of what I've been concerned about with the ES. But right now, clear sort of downtrend down into these lows, which is an important retest. So this is something I want to talk about. We talked about this yesterday, and we do need to be sort of cautious of being overly bearish on a retest of previous all-time highs, right? Because that's really what this is. It's just a pullback into these 4-hour previous highs. So if the bulls defend this, right, that short idea is sort of out of the window, and we need to remember that. So this is technically the worst spot to short without a breakdown, right? Like, it's the worst spot to be looking for downside unless we get that breakdown below these lows. So we have to get it. We have to get it. And if we don't, you're actually going to be stuck shorting at the exact low. So really cautious here. Bulls have been defending it, right? It's not giving up. So we have to remember that heading into today. We have a PPI low at 64.53, which is right here. PPI low on this little wick low at 53, which is pretty much the exact low a day, and the exact overnight low that we see today, right? Look at that. So PPI low here, almost to the point on the ES today. So that to me looks like the level that needs to break. I think we need to fail underneath that 53. If we get that, we'll maybe get 10 points to that CPI high. If we continue to see that weakness intraday, maybe we get to the 30. That would be the target. But if we hold here, a short anything north of 53 is probably the worst short entry. We could see that little break of this downtrend today. Again, though, that would probably only extend itself maybe up towards the 80s, which we can see failed yesterday. That was sort of this failure in the overnight session. Yesterday, we can see some of these previous lows here at the 80s. So 80s to 60s, this 20-point range, that's where we just stayed all day yesterday. This actually looks like a tick chart. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, it's completely flat.
Yesterday's price action looks like a tick chart, which is just unbelievable. I think that's actually one of the worst price action days, like top 10 worst I've ever seen.
So I don't know. In my community, I say that bad price action for some people like us is really good price action for somebody else. Like, there's strategies to capitalize on a day like that.
Yeah, I mean, just going a condor. Right. Straight a condor.
Or even scalping for quick little 4 or 5 point moves 10 times a day and getting 50 points out of the market.
Yeah. I mean, the best trade yesterday was just it was a SPX condor, and just as long as it's under 80 and above 60, you made money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the best trade yesterday.
I think one of the biggest things is like being able to understand the difference between a trending and a balanced day. Like, breakout traders, breakdown traders on a balanced day are going to struggle severely. Yeah. And reversal traders, or traders looking to capitalize on quick little fluctuations, are going to capitalize severely on balanced days. Yeah. So I think it's understanding the conditions and adjusting and adapting to how you trade based on those conditions. I know with options it's tough. Yeah. Futures is a lot easier. But different conditions present different opportunities to trade, and we have to be able to differentiate between those opportunities and trade differently based on the conditions the market's presenting.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. Like I always talk about not trading in those zones, but that's just tailored to my trading.
Exactly.
It's not it's not the absolute correct answer. It could be the wrong answer for someone, but that's up to you to decide in your trading. Jason Douglas, appreciate that, brother. Do you guys see a falling wedge pattern on the SPY 30 minute? A falling wedge pattern. I mean,
it's like
I see that there, over the last few days. But again, Jason, right? These patterns, it's all about the levels, in my opinion, Jason. So, I may think that this is a, downtrend. I may think that this is a bull flag, whatever term we're using, but really the key is, do we break these lows? And if we don't, we're going higher. If we do, we're going lower, right? It's all about the key levels on the market, the reactions at them, and I would just leave it at that, right? Don't go to sleep at night saying, I think it's a falling wedge, I'm going to short it because of that, right? It's not. It's more of like, okay, I have this level, I need to see a reaction at it on the intraday. If I see a reaction on it on the intraday, then that gives me a reason to execute my game plan, right? You don't want to just create these ideas and then just act upon them without seeing the action to sort of confirm that, right? So that's the ES. Really nothing changed from yesterday, guys. Same exact thing. SPY. Here's the last thing I'll say for SPY. This thing that I think is the most bullish thing in the market right now is the SPY, and the reason I say that is because what you're doing pretty much is you're just retesting the all-time highs again, right? So I don't want, I can't say it's bullish, but it's a bullish hold. And you can just see right here, right? This 4-hour previous all-time high is the exact low that's been setting up for the last week. And so technically this is just a bullish break and hold structure holding above previous all-time highs. And if that holds, this is still in a bullish trend. Nothing's broken, and we really can't get too bearish on this move if we're holding above that 641.57 level, right? I mean, that technically is a hold above previous all-time highs, which is a bullish structure, and we can see it continuing to hold on the 30-minute chart here over the last few days, right? Here and all of the last 2 days, and including today, we're above it again.
So you still chart SPY even if you trade chart ES?
Yeah, there's discrepancies at times. I mean, I find them at times.
Interesting. So you have different levels sometimes on SPY than you would ES?
I think it's probably because I watch the contract adjusted ES, which I don't know if you do.
No.
You don't. I probably need to change that.
Yeah.
That is possibly a
So
reason.
you mainly have discrepancies near rollover time?
Yes.
Gotcha. And you keep it that way?
Yeah, I probably should just not keep it that way though. That's probably a good change.
Yeah.
I've been in question about watching contract adjusted lately.
Yeah, I do not.
The last contract adjustment was one of the largest discrepancies. You noticed that too? Yeah. Me and Case in the community were like, "What the hell is going on? Why is this so different?" And it caused a lot of confusion.
Not for nothing, but this chart also kind of is looking like a head and shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Possibly.
it's all about this range.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, can't short into these lows, can't long into these highs. Gotta wait for something to happen. This is totally a wait and see move. And I mean, that's what the price action. That's like, we're saying this, and so is probably thousands of other traders. Just wait and see. Don't get any kind of large risk on. Don't try to guess what's gonna happen. Just wait for a level to break.
Yeah.
PPI high 645. All-time highs 641.50, and you got yourself a pretty decent range to scalp in, but not when it does this all day, right?
Yeah.
So you might say, hey, I'm gonna long these lows, short these highs, but if it's just gonna do like what it did yesterday all day, it's not as easy as that.
Right. Just be very, very careful and cautious opening up inside of this range.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get continuation until the range breaks.
Yeah.
You know, we could sell off a little bit. If we don't break the range, it's not gonna have continuation. We can move up today. And if it doesn't break out of this range, we're not going to have continuation. The moves are going to be very, very short-lived.
Yeah.
I don't like trading in the middle of it. And to me, inside the middle is a no-trade zone for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just be very, very cautious, especially going for continuation inside of this range.
Yeah. We'll go over Palantir, Ori. Appreciate that. All right, so should we get into yours?
Yeah,
Let's
just
pull
pull
up
up my
your...
TOS. You have it still up, no?
Yeah.
That one, no?
This one.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it properly formatted. All right,
All right.
take it over. You want this chair?
All right, so I guess I don't know. There's some days where me and Vince have like the same levels, but they were developed so differently, and that just goes to show you that like in the market, there's no right strategy, no right system. It's just how you form your structure and how you form your levels and what you look for around your levels of interest.
Right.
For me, like zooming out and just clearing up this chart, we're inside of this just tight range. And inside of this balanced range, for me, there's an equilibrium of buyers and sellers. And it's a range where I don't want to be going against a move down where there's buying activity, and I don't want to be going against the move up where there's selling activity. In the middle of the range, it's a lower probability, lower quality of a setup. As much as I would love to take a trade possibly inside of the middle of it, and I can't lie, maybe I will, I always know in the back of my mind that maybe it's going to be a lower probability or a lower quality type of trade, just because it's in the middle of a balanced range where there's an equilibrium of buyers and sellers. When the market moves sideways on even like a day like yesterday, zooming in, we have an equilibrium of buyers and sellers. We have every single time the market moves up, it gets sold into. Every single time the market moves down, it gets bought into. So there's an equilibrium where there's no edge to either side of the participants. And on days like this, it's very important to play reversals, and it's very important to not go for continuation moves because we're inside of a tight range. Zooming out, we could see this even on a higher time frame. The same concepts apply right here. The market essentially, every single time we move up, we're getting sold into, and every single time we move down, we're also getting bought up. So inside of the middle of this range, until it's broken out of, is always going to be a lower probability setup. No matter how good it looks, it's always going to have less likely chances of continuation until the range breaks. Now, earlier in the week, one of my main levels was 64.67, which just got represented from extremely large buying activity from the close on last Tuesday. It supported the market 3 different sessions, once, twice, 3 times. Yesterday was my game plan, looking to short under it. The market broke under it, and then we saw yesterday's chop. So this level becomes irrelevant for me, and it is not something that I'm watching anymore. Now, yesterday's price action, I mainly look at the most recent price action of what goes on in the most recent move in the market, because I'm just going for quick little scalps or quick little high probability opportunities of what's happening in the present moment. Yesterday, a level that kept popping up on my screens, and I'm sure anybody that watches the order flow saw 64.70 as a significant level of interest, where there's a significant, I guess you could say, larger seller present or active there. And I don't know if I should show the order flow. Does your community know?
Yeah, show it.
The order flow well?
Let's. I'm sure many do. Yeah.
So just looking at a footprint chart, what this shows me is just buying and selling volume at specific prices. If I zoom into this range right here around 10:30, I'm gonna make this a little bigger so everybody could see it. Basically around 10:31, the market rallied up, and right here for 617 contracts, where my mouse is at, there was, people will call this an iceberg. This is a passive seller. This is a lot of aggressive buying, showing effort, and no reward, sitting at 64.70. Later in the session, I'm going to fast forward. About 20 minutes later, there was the same thing that occurred here. 1,900 lots on the S&P 500 hit the offer here, and 0 hit the bid. Right? So there was massive, aggressive buying activity, and somebody was on the other side of the market selling the market at 64.70. Later in the session, same thing occurs here. The market breaks it temporarily, and we see the same amount of buying activity that the market rallied and failed. So around 64.70 to 64.74 from yesterday's price action, minimize that, there was just significant volume activity around this. Now, obviously, going to a smaller time frame chart, we can see the market had rejected it extremely well, as 64.70 was just, every time we popped into it yesterday, it failed. And how me and Vince just said it, like different conditions present different opportunities. On a balanced market, a good setup is reversing the highs and reversing the lows. So that just was interesting activity that, for me today, I have to cautiously watch what the market does around this level. Yeah. Overnight, we came very close to it. Right now, we're rallying up into it. I don't know what to make out of it. And this is how me and Vince always just say, you know, look at Vince's shirt right now. Trust the levels. We don't know how we're going to trade around the levels. We just know to watch price action around our levels. And if it gives us signs to actively participate, then we could go with it. The problem is that a rule of thumb for me is when the market's balanced, and let's specifically talk about yesterday's balance. The rule of thumb is that we take the market outside of balance as long as there's initiative participants participating in the move out of balance. So a scenario that I always like looking for, and it's probably one of my favorite setups in terms of higher time frame analysis, is when the market breaks out of the balance range, right? So let's just say we break out above the 64.70, 64.74 level today. I'm hypothetically speaking here. Let's just say this is a bullish scenario. One thing that I'm watching for today is a breakout above the 64.70s, the 64.74s. It needs to break out of that above first, because it could still be a possible sign of a seller if we come into it and reject today. I would need to see a strong breakout validated by strong buying volume. This proves that buyers are showing the initiative to lift the market outside of balance, and they have the edge now, where yesterday the sellers had the edge at the highs. That's step number one. Then step number two would be similar to Vince's breakout and retest, would be then looking for a pullback and looking for this range to now support the market and defend prices as it's breaking out above this. If I could see this today above 64.70, where we break out above it, have strong buying volume, then I have no other levels or no other resistance that the market can't go up into the 64.85s. Yeah. Tight room, you know, it's only like 10, 15 points, but still it could be a high probability setup if the market does that. Yep. Now to the downside, it's going to be the same thing here. I don't want to participate in the first sell-off if the market breaks under these yesterday's lows. Yeah, your level was what exactly?
64.60.
64.60.
56, yeah.
So it's the same level. It's just yesterday's low. It's just basically the balance range low. I mean, it's the PPI low as well. So extending this to the left.
Yeah. You want to be careful with sweep below those lows.
Yeah, so basically a balanced move, the market then, if it breaks out under the balance and there's responsive participants, this is where two scenarios you could play here, is if it breaks out below and immediately reclaims back inside of the low, this is a very, very bullish indication that we're going to go test the high.
That's the reclaim ripper.
So that's a failed breakdown of balance, and that shows participants are responsive. And for me, you know, I want to see something in the order flow indicating that buyers or sellers are basically Can I curse on the stream?
Yeah, why not?
Fucked down there. Basically, you know, I'm looking for who's going to be trapped and who's going to be screwed shorting under a low.
Yeah.
And the same thing applies to the high. Let's just say the market breaks out above the 64.70s today.
Fails back
And
under.
and there's a massive seller similar to what we saw yesterday. I got no problem if I see these buyers who are buying this breakout fucked.
Yeah.
I have no problem going against them.
Right.
So those are the main scenarios that I'm watching here. I want to base it around the 56s and the 70s.
Yeah.
Above the 70s, above the 74s, if participants are very initiating new buy positions, I don't see any resistance to the 85s, 97s.
I think the key thing to remember today is there's going to be, you know, with the range yesterday, for most people, there's going to be a desire to look for us to break out or break down.
Yes,
And
exactly.
the first breakout or breakdown could be the most dangerous trade of the day.
Exactly.
Right? Because like everyone's going to be, oh shit, you know, we broke the lows. Let's it's time. And then you get that same sweep, that same reclaim that just screws, you know, the shorts that are trying to, you know, aggressively try to get that breakdown, and it's just not going to happen again.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most dangerous trade to be looking at today, unless we get a clear, you know, hold below.
Exactly. React, don't predict. You know,
Yeah.
we could sit here and say, oh, this is going to happen. This is what we think is going to happen. But us thinking what's going to happen is not actually what's going to happen. Could we be right? And, you know, our prediction could be correct. But that's not our job. And again, going back to your shirt, that's why you just have levels and play your levels.
Yeah.
But what Vince said, I think, is a good point, is that after yesterday's price action, people today are going to jump on the first aggressive move they see.
Yeah.
They see this thing rally up, they're going to try to long it. They see this thing sell off, they're going to try to short it.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, again, a balanced market is prone more to fake outs than it is continuation until it breaks out of this range.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
And then also higher time frame. The last thing I'm going to say here is this is a cautious level for me, 64.85 to 64.97s. Directly before the market opened on, what was this, last Friday, there was some significant, I'll pull it up here if you guys don't mind on the tape.
Pull it up.
Directly before the open on a Friday, there was significant passive selling. Let's go over here to Friday. What was Friday, the 15th?
Friday was
Yeah.
15. Yep.
So directly before the market opened at 8:30 to 9:30 last Friday, where my cursor's at right here, there was significant passive selling activity from the minute the market opened to an hour before it opened on Friday. So going into this, there's absolutely no way, if the market does rally into the 97s today, if we manage to rally 30 points right now, am I first looking for continuation where this selling activity came from on Friday? I just can't do it. And on top of that, zooming out,
Yes.
that's going to be at the top of the range.
Yeah.
And longing at the top of the range is not something that I'm interested in. Same thing in shorting in the lower portion of the range.
Yeah, but that's a nice move.
It would be a nice 30-point rally.
Yeah.
And I wish we could. I don't care if it moves up or down. I just want to see a range today
Yeah.
and volatility.
What
So
would, and then I would say, would you just say a hold above yesterday's range would look, maybe you target that?
I would target the 85s to
The
97s. Yeah.
That high from
Yeah.
Friday.
The high from Friday is also a low volume node.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I mean, there's one thing that you'll always see me and Vince do is we don't have a bias. We always have our levels, and we're always looking to be bullish or bearish around our levels.
I think it's like it's a weird situation right now where the pops are getting faded, so it makes you think bearish, but at the same time the key demand below is holding. So it's like it's really hard. It's really dangerous to have a bias right now. All right, so that's the ES. We got the spot. We got the futures levels. What time is it?
Oh, another thing
36?
too, like Vince said, like what I like looking for, I don't want to say it's an easy trade, but I look at where the market can move with ease if the volume is very strong and aggressive.
Yeah.
And this is similar to what Vince was saying, like to the downside, he was showing his NASDAQ chart, how basically under the lows, can I pull up the NASDAQ?
Yeah. Do it
Like
again.
under these lows right here, there's like nothing here, right? Like we have nothing here until the CPI low.
That's the point. That's the pocket of opportunity.
Exactly. So I call it the line of least resistance, like where the market can basically move with ease.
Yeah.
And on the S&P, like if the selling is aggressive under the low and we break under the balance, like I have no levels right here.
Yeah.
Like this circle,
It's a great spot.
it's a great spot if the selling is aggressive that we could have continuation. Other than the CPI high at like the 42s,
Yeah.
if the selling is aggressive, there's minimal support, minimal demand under that.
Take it easy.
Is that really loud?
I'm just
You guys want eggs?
sure.
It will
You
take.
can't fucking trade the market in tight range on an empty stomach.
We got eggs and English muffin.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, good.
All right.
Over easy.
You gotta get fueled up.
Sunny side up.
But yeah, I mean that's
He's
the
talking about.
oh, that's the pocket of opportunity. I'd like to see it. The thing that we all know is it's just you got to see it. You got to see it first.
React, don't predict.
Yeah.
Have your levels, gauge what the market does around your levels.
Yep.
No one can sit here and say, oh, we're going to rally or going to sell off today.
Yep.
It's impossible to guess the direction.
All right. With that said, kick that chef. Chef, make sure you get him. Make sure you get him treated right, chef.
Chef Joe, I'm coming on Thursday.
Yeah. Don't say where. Let's keep it somewhat under wraps.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Before the fucking.
See you on Thursday, chef.
6:15 on Thursday, Chef.
I won't
See you
be
there.
but Carmine will be. I still need to get over there.
Yeah, right.
Scrambled for margin. All right, margin. All right. All right. Let me get in here.
Go ahead.
We'll get over some other things that I'm watching. Teach them how not to. Nvidia, we don't got a quote today. What's the chef said? I got you, Carmine. Don't worry. Nvidia, what's the quote today? I need a quote. All right, so what I want to go to next is SMH. Let's talk a little bit about the SMH because the SMH has been the driver of a lot of upside on this market. That's no surprise or no. What's the word I'm looking for? That's no not surprise. Whatever I'm about to say there. 297, 298. This is the area I'm watching. You can see right here, these Monday highs was a major rejection. You held above those Wednesday, Thursday of last week, and now you're trading below them. So to me, this is still a little bit of an interesting flip on the semiconductors, right? If the semiconductors fade this 297, 298 zone again, that would make me, be cautious of potential failures across the market, right? Because I think you need the SMH to get higher again for the whole market to get higher. So 297, 298 area that I'm going to be watching on the SMH today. What does it do in there? That's going to be an area I pay attention to. If we get back above that 298 and we're supporting it, then 300 would be the target. But yeah, we just got to be careful, right? Because the SMH, you can see it's right back at these all-time highs.
Good.
It's failing them. And so we have to get back above that. If this turns into a lower high here at these previous highs and the SMH fails here, that's going to influence some fail on the market, right? Because NVIDIA, AMD have been really in focus. So let's just be careful of that today. I think that's a driver to be paying attention to. Bitcoin failed those highs. We are down into these demand lows, 113,800. So you can see it held yesterday. It sort of failed again. It's just sort of holding here. Consolidation range, really. You have a pretty clear range between 113.8 and 118. Nothing really there, but I think I have an alert at these lows because I think if Bitcoin does break these lows, you probably will get a little bit of a sell-off. So if that happens, could influence some risk-off environments. Coinbase, Circle, Hood, right, could get affected by that move. So sort of keeping an eye on that. IWM, really nice hold above these previous highs on IWM still. You can see the very nice break and retest, right? Break, hold, previous highs, holding 226, 227 area. If that holds, small caps stay strong. So we got to remember that. It's been holding. It consolidated yesterday. You can very clearly see anyone that's tried to sell under this 227 level has been screwed, right, by these hourly wicks. So let's be careful looking for downside. If IWM's holding that, that looks pretty good, right, holding that level. So let's be careful there. Finally, the Dow, really nice hold actually at our 44.8. Geez, I don't look at the Dow often, but I mean, this is a pretty damn nice hold on the Dow. Previous highs here, 44,800, holding very strong this morning, actually. So that's, what's moving this? Is UNH going up today? Oh, no, I think it's Home Depot and Cat, isn't it? Yeah, it's Caterpillar. Okay. So did Cat have earnings today? Cat did not have earnings today, but Cat I saw something on this morning. What happened with Cat this morning, guys? Something's moving this higher. I don't know if it's Home Depot.
You got the contract to build your house.
Yeah, they got the contract to build my house. Okay, they got an upgrade this morning by Evercore. Okay, so they got an upgrade. That's helping the Dow right now. Home Depot earnings also slightly higher. So I think that's helping the Dow Jones a little bit. You can see the Dow Jones sort of popping higher off that 44.8. So something to watch there. Yeah, we got PANW earnings yesterday. Nice strong move on PANW earnings. Nothing that I'm really going to be looking to trade today, as it's just right back into the middle of this range. So not something I'm too interested in. But if we look at this, we could see there is a nice little hold above this little area here. So what is that? That's like 185.
Yeah.
So like right in this 185 zone, you guys can see right here. That could be your spot to watch on PANW today. Previous lows, previous rejections, and if we go into the short-term time frames, we can see that's pretty much the exact spot that's holding up today. So PANW off 185 could be a nice watch today for continuation. That might be something you look for. No cowboy hat today. Hopefully a cowboy hat today. Hopefully. And actually, you know what? PANW probably has some decent room in some of these like sort of straight down moves, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what is that, like 192, 192, 193 area right over here? Could be actually a pretty nice trade today. That actually,
look at that. Look at the last time it had a nice move, right?
Yeah.
And then when it broke out,
Right.
yeah.
This actually might be a trade I look for today. Not gonna lie. 185. See if that supports. Obviously, I'd want to see the tech market hold up as well. Let's go over to let's go over Tesla, because Tesla is actually a very interesting reclaim yesterday. Tesla is on this daily chart sort of flag. If I go here to the, let me go to the blank 1 second. So right here, you guys can see. Let me go ahead and put on the daily 200 SMA as well. So right here, take a look at this. So Tesla, right, little pullback over the last 4 days, right into that daily 200 SMA, and look at the support you have from the SMAs here. So huge support from the daily 200 here on Tesla. I think this is a very intriguing long still, if we can get a nice move outside of this little bull flag. 200 SMA below, I like that. And also the reclaim yesterday, which I tried to stay long. We took a nice long yesterday in the group off 334 retest, but it just sort of died out on me, so never got too much of an opportunity there. Decent 334 retest long. Today you can see holding 334 again. So that's pretty nice. However, there's a very clear smackdown level above on Tesla at 338. Right? Lows, highs. And so this could be one of those situations where a lot of people are looking for that breakout of that flag, and 338 just smacks it down again. So I would be cautious. You're in a 4-point range here on Tesla. I think over 338 is definitely a top watch for me today.
Could you throw a VWAP on there real fast?
Sure.
I want to see if it supported it yesterday.
Pretty much all day.
Yeah. I don't know. What I like doing on trending days is like marking out where VWAP basically had the biggest incline. And those levels usually act as a
Pretty
nice,
much
like,
our 333
like
right here, right?
No, a little lower, like right there, yeah, 330.
333,
Right around your
334.
level.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to watch to see if these lows get defended, if there is a nice long there.
Set an
Also,
alert on that. I like that a lot, actually.
yeah, I mean, this has been my top watch. You want me to keep you updated on this
Yeah,
one?
keep me updated on this one.
I knew you'd be interested in Tesla. If you go to Carmine's charts, real quick, you'll see one of the only equities that he has marked out is Tesla. It's like the only equity. Where did it go? You had it marked out.
Maybe it's a different drawing set.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Oh, there it
yeah.
is. All right. Like I was going through Carmine's charts yesterday, and everything is blank besides Tesla. So I knew he'd be interested in this one. He actually has. I mean,
I'm still in Tesla from longer term.
We talked about how this wedge breakout is actually being supported. Right?
Yeah.
You see that? So this is very interesting. This is probably my top one of my top watches on the equity side today.
Yeah.
Besides that, we're just going to go over top watches. We're not going to go over everything today. My next top watch is Palantir downside, and holy crap, Palantir's going straight down right now. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, Palantir downside is 100% one of my top watches today, and it looks like it's already sort of gone. So I put, funny enough, yesterday I told Carmine, I put it on his charts. I said, I'm gonna set an alert for you here, and if you get an alert, just make sure you remember me, right? So I set an alert underneath the gap fill level at 169.30 on his charts. So let's see if that happens today. I keep moving this lower and lower. Palantir underneath 169.22 has nothing but a gap on the daily chart, guys. Right here, huge gap. See if I can zoom in. I love when TOS does this. Right here, right under 169.22, we have the daily 20, which could hold it, but under that, huge gap to 162. So definitely watching that today, and it looks like we're already getting some downside continuation as we speak, which is a very interesting setup. Look at this thing, starting to fade already.
Oh shit!
What?
It's dropping.
Yeah, quickly. So this is a top watch to the downside, and it's getting big. Why did this change to?
So you're going
studies?
for a big gap fill.
I
possibly.
am. I need to see us break the daily 20 though. The daily 20 is right at the gap level. This is where the gap starts.
That could be a nice fake out, like little sell off into
it
it
could
and
be
bounce.
a really nasty fake out. So very cautious of it. But right now, basically, we've rejected Friday lows all day yesterday. So if you look at here, this was Friday lows, and you failed it all day yesterday. So failing under Friday's lows is bearish. Fading now. Need to get under this 169.22 area and that daily 20. This could be a nasty little fake out spot.
I like that.
So that's another watch.
You set an alert on mine?
Yeah. I think we're going to leave it there, guys. Tesla, Palantir, we have a pretty range market, so I'm not really watching that much. Those are really my top two. I am watching Circle and CRWV for more fades as well today. I actually have a small position in these. I'll just show you guys what I'm looking at on Circle real quick. Circle, it does it on yours too.
It's the price level one. There you go.
You know, but sometimes it just doesn't zoom. On Circle, I'm watching this little daily chart break and retest. That's really my main watch. So you have these major lows here. You failed them, retested them, rejected them. 149, 150.
Gap fill too.
I mean, this should definitely go to 120 in my eyes.
Are we moving down?
There's nothing. There's nothing here.
Yeah. That looks
There's a
good.
little bit here. There's a gap fill here at this 133 spot, so it could hold there.
That looks nice.
It does look nice. That's why I had to take it yesterday. I was like, this looks too good not to grab.
It's so flat overnight. That probably means big moves coming.
Yeah, so very flat overnight. Still failing these highs. I'm still targeting this low around 134s and possibly down into those 120s. So we'll see. I just need it to stay under this 149, 150 zone.
That looks good.
Carmine likes the retest.
I like that.
And then the last one is the same setup, guys. Exact same setup on the daily chart. Take a look at this. All right, CRWV, another fading stock. Look at this retest right here. Previous lows, break, retest, yesterday rejection. So if we can try to trust some longer term time frames, this is another perfect failure under these major daily lows. And to the left, look at to the left. I mean, there's nothing here. This is all just vertical upside. So very interested to see if this one fades again today. And that's going to be all. That's going to be it. We're going to call it here.
Yeah, right. Keep talking. Give me 2 more minutes. The eggs are going.
You want to get the eggs going? So we're gonna go live in our groups today. We're probably gonna try to jump back on a live stream maybe around 11 o'clock. If we have some good things to review, hopefully we do, and maybe we'll jump back on. So just stay tuned to our YouTube channels. I think we might do it actually on Carmine's channel. Do you want to minimize the face again, or are you gonna? There you go. What are you looking at?
No, go ahead. Keep talking.
Press the like button. We need way more likes than 1,600. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure to subscribe to Carmine's channel. It's down in the description. I'm sure a lot of you guys already are.
The biggest thing for me, just before we leave here, I know the market opens up in 40 minutes. The biggest thing for me here, and I'm sure Vince the same thing, like he said, the previous highs, is the way I look at this, especially on the S&P. I don't know if anybody doesn't, I guess, know how I trade. The S&P is the main thing that I trade. Right now, we've broken out above those previous all-time highs that Vince was highlighting, and now we're just hanging out above this. So right now, sellers have the opportunity, they have it in their hands, to really prove strength and be a failed breakout of an all-time high, which would be a very, very bearish indication. They have the opportunity there, and what's going to really matter is, do the sellers not capitalize on this opportunity? And if that's the case, then expect more all-time highs. If the sellers do capitalize on this opportunity, then expect a little bit of a move down.
Yeah.
Under this would be a failed breakout attempt of the all-time highs.
Yeah, it's a very big moment in the market.
It's a big moment for the sellers to have the opportunity in their hands, and if they could capitalize on it, you know, then downside's coming. If they slip up on it, then most likely higher prices are going to be, you know, much likely.
Yeah.
Again, zooming out on this, if you just zoom out, I want to make this a very important point here. We're inside the middle of the range.
Look at that 70 fail again.
So, yeah, again,
Look at that.
that's a perfect failure of the 70s, but don't understand that inside the middle of the range is always going to be a lower probability setup, and the chances of continuation are going to be very unlikely inside the middle of the range. So when in doubt, zoom out. And right now we're inside of this. Just be very, very cautious, because a lot of traders again are going to jump on the first move.
Yep.
Do not expect continuation inside of this range. Only expecting continuation outside of the range. And we want to gauge if the participants are initiating new positions outside of it, or are they responding to prices outside of it. And that's going to be our guideline for today. And I think that's very important to have in the back of your mind when you're looking to open up a position.
Yeah, keep that NTZ on. Stay patient. Be disciplined. If you got a little chopped up yesterday, tell yourself, I'm not going to do this again today. I need to do something different. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You guys know I love that quote. So if you know, we're a little bit insane yesterday, don't do it again today. Figure out what you need to do to wait for a good confirmation. I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a great trading day. We'll see you guys in the communities if you are. If not, you can check us out. Check out Carmine's channel. Check out mine. And maybe we'll see you guys back on YouTube maybe around 11:30. All right?